Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss the Cloverfield Paradox, starring Daniel Bruhl, Elizabeth Debicki, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, forgive me if I said that wrong, David Oyelowo, forgive me if I said that wrong too, John Ortiz, Crystal Dowd, Askell Henny, and Zhang Ziyi, and directed by Julius Ona. Now, why a Netflix movie? Well, why did Netflix decide to take Cloverfield in the first place is beyond me. Well, because they can work quicker than Paramount, I guess. So, how quickly of a job is this? Let's get into it and find out. This begins almost when the first Cloverfield attacks start to happen, and the next thing you know, we're in space, and a crew, and we're getting to a plot that reminds me of the first of the Alien series in 1979, and where they get picked on, and they get picked one by one in space, no one can hear you scream, are the best ways to describe this movie, and it's not original at all. And that's going to be a main problem I have with this movie. I hate to say it, I'm going to keep bringing up Alien again and again because like I said before, this is the same idea as Alien, and that makes me angry. I don't know any of these characters' names, and I never got it until later, so here's what I got as far as who the characters are. Main African girl, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, forgive me if I said that wrong. Zhang Ziyi. The German who looks like a villain, Daniel Bruhl. The guy from Bridesmaids, sorry, I don't know what his name is. Martin Luther King Jr. look-alike, what's his name? David Oyelowo, forgive me if I said that wrong too. And the guy I've seen in a million movies, including Michael Fassbender's Steve Jobs, which is John Ortiz. And the guy who's been in Iron Man 2 and 2009 Star Trek, I don't know what his name is. And there's one more I can think of. The tall British lady from The Great Gatsby. The Leonardo DiCaprio one. Honestly, I don't like these people, and I don't give a damn but whether they lived or died by the end of the movie. But I'll bring up the lady from Great Gatsby when I get to her. The main African girl has lost a way to contact her boyfriend/husband. I don't know which one it is, and I don't care. I honestly don't know. And they do have their first scene together at the start of the movie, and I know his name is Michael because it said when they Skype each other, I don't get to know him or care for him. The tall British lady from Great Gatsby, aka Elizabeth Debicki, I'll call her for the rest of the movie, character, and stuck in the wall, and for what reason, I don't know. I think she placed herself there on purpose. We'll figure that out at the end. And I don't care. And I don't blame Elizabeth Debicki. I blame the script for not making me care. I will be seeing Debicki again in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and I do like her as an actress in general. So things are starting to go wrong after Elizabeth Debicki is found, and it's again reminding me of Alien. That German who looks like a villain and Zhang Ziyi are trying to find something, and they both want to be the ones who saved their satellite's ass, and that was an unnecessary moment of the film. That's when something reminded me of Alien comes in, only instead of a baby xenomorph, we get a bunch of worms exploding like from bodies, and that was a bad Alien ripoff. The acting in this movie is reminding me a lot of the first Cloverfield, where the actors is just so bad. The German who looks like a villain is trapped because Elizabeth Debicki knows he's the one that put her in the wall. Or maybe not, who knows. And that's why this actor, Daniel Bruhl, is good at playing a villain, but unfortunately not here. So Michael finds a little girl on the ground, and she's hurt to death, and Michael takes her in the shelter, promises her they'll find her parents, and I'm like, yeah, bullshit. The guy from Bridesmaids gets his arm stuck and chopped off, and there's no gore. Like, is this for real? Because the effects need to be just they need to be more real, and there needs to be more gore. It made no damn sense to me. They find a piece of equipment from someone's body, and I thought, wow, how the hell did the piece of equipment find in this guy's stomach? And isn't that way too big for a body? Like, that made no damn sense either. Make sense, damn it! So Zhang Ziyi gets an overload of H2O, aka water, and gets frozen in space. And that death worked for me, because no one can breathe in space. So I'll give it a compliment. I like that moment of the film. So the guy from Bridesmaids dies by some metal on a magnet, and that death was too freaking silly. And I felt nothing except he's the guy from Bridesmaids, and that's all he'll ever be. But he was the guy dating Natalie Portman for a brief scene from Thor: The Dark World, which I talked to him before about. Well, not really, but it still doesn't make me care for him. The Martin Luther King Jr. look-alike sacrifices himself for the main African lady to get home, and the death was just too careless for me. So Elizabeth Debicki trapped herself. Oh, good. What do we go about it? In the wall on purpose, so she can kill the guy who I've seen in a million movies and the German who looks like a villain to get the fire key, and that was a twist cliche at best, and I just don't care because I don't like these characters whatsoever. And she gets stuck in space and dies, and that was painfully acted, by the way. So the main African lady leaves herself a message about staying with Michael and their kids, and that was not only a painful scene, but painfully acted. And not only is she still alive, but the German who looks like a villain is alive as well, and I don't care whether they lived or died by the end of the movie. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 2.7 out of 10. This may be the most painful Cloverfield movie ever made and acted, and J.J. Abrams should be ashamed of himself, and I don't like or care for any of the characters. This is the worst Cloverfield movie ever. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me for this whole Cloverfield retrospective, and before I say goodbye, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, watch some more videos, and please hit the comment bottom on the bottom, and please make it positive if possible. So I'd like to think. So until next time, hey, look, there's a monster.